save you. This shit is straight fucking with me now.
But she moves out of the way on purpose.
Oh, you're gonna go, baby, hurry up. I'm cleared down, baby. Stop leaving me here alone. I can't do this shit.
And the crucifix turns upside down. Okay. So, this is where I figured out it was fake.
That was a great debunk, Parple. I hope nobody ever investigates this house thinking that it's real. Ooh, new Paranormal Nightmare. You know what? They've been cool with me. I gotta be cool with them. When demons attack. Beardos, weirdos, boils and ghouls, how are you all doing? Hope you're doing well today. It's about to kick off in the paranormal community again. Well, the fake paranormal community, and the real paranormal community, and the debunking community. Why? Because as I showed in that little intro, Parple did a fantastic debunking video a few weeks ago. The video is titled that this channel is doing better than Really Haunted and Lenient Ben. And the reason he titled the video, this channel is doing better than Really Haunted and Lenient Ben, is he really had to do a deep dive into the fakery, the bulpo, the shenanigans, and he said it was very well made. One of the best fake hauntings he's seen in quite some time. But he absolutely debunked all of it. I'm aware that some of the other debunkers looked at these guys' videos, looked at Parple's video, and were like, nailed it. These guys are fake. And then earlier this week, I saw a thumbnail and a trailer for Paranormal Nightmare's video for this week. When Demons Attack, Poltergeist Footage, Paranormal Nightmare TV, Series 17, Episode 2. And I recognised the lady. And I recognised the house. And I was like, uh-oh. Things are going to get rough round here again. But I had a little bit of faith. And do you know why I had a little bit of faith? Because I once watched Paranormal Nightmare go into a home where a child was seemingly possessed, under attack by a demon. They did their investigation, and then at the end of it, presented evidence of the child faking to the mother and tried to get that child and the mother the right help. Could they go to this house and actually out them for the TikTok scam that they really are? I had faith in the Foreman brothers for this. Side note, as some of you are aware, there's been a little bit back and forth between me and the Foreman brothers. I brought out a video standing up for the debunking community because I didn't like what they said. They have since apologised to me, both personally in emails, and offered to have a phone call with me. I put the phone call off until I watched this video. Purely, I put it off because if these guys are going to play into this thing being fake, then unfortunately I can't be seen rubbing shoulders with them, because I don't rub shoulders with fakers and fakery. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The Foreman brothers seem to do a lot of good, and I wanted that good to be real. The Foreman brothers, or Josh specifically, then came into, he was either on a community post or one of my recent videos, and he not only apologised to me publicly, but to the entire community publicly. And I respect that. I have to respect that. It takes balls to say, I was wrong, I messed up. And when you're a channel of their size, they didn't have to do it. Most of them don't. And that put them back in a good footing with me. So last night I stayed up and I watched the premiere for this. I told the Foreman brothers I was attending via email, and I watched the video in its entirety. And there's some things that I noticed in the premiere live chat. Now, for all the claims of the debunkers and the debunking community being toxic, there was more than the fair share of toxicity and horrible comments towards the family involved in this case in that comment section. That is not Paranormal Nightmare's fault. That is not the moderator's fault, and I never would say it is. The moderators had a terrible job last night trying to get rid of all the really horrible stuff, because there was a fair bit of it. People insulting the woman's weight, insulting the way she looks, people calling the Foreman brothers out for whatever, but not in a nice way. And the moderating team over at Paranormal Nightmare series did well. Josh and Rocky are ill, so Sean was the only one there. Sean welcomed me in, Sean interacted with me there. And the further the video went on, the more I'm just sat there like, you're going to get ripped apart. I know Mythos is like Jaws right now, and these guys are chum because of comments they've made, even if they're no longer available for us to see. Those comments were made, and it pissed Mythos off. And I have spoken to Mythos, and I was like, I'm going to check this video out. And if it's any good, you know, at least we can see, at least they called these fakers out. That didn't happen. Mythos asked me, did I want to make a complete breakdown and analysis of everything? I was like, nope, you already told me you were going for it. Go for it. Have at it. I was just going to sit this out in the hope that Paranormal Nightmare would do the right thing and call this hoax out for what it is. In defense of Paranormal Nightmare, they went to this violent poltergeist house where crucifixes turn upside down, where stuff moves, where there's satanic imagery and shit everywhere. Nothing moved in that house. Nothing at all. There was no poltergeist activity. There was knocks, and then there was all of their equipment. Now, love it or hate it, you know my thoughts on most of the paranormal equipment. I get why people use it, but when people are using the equipment to lead their investigation instead of leading the investigation themselves, and then trying to use equipment that is not scientifically proven, you're letting the tools do the work for you. I'm also very respectful of the fact that this is all very religious based. I am not religious. I know very little about religion, especially Catholicism, because, you know, I was raised a Christian. I was made to go to a Pentecostal church when I was a child, and, you know, it was cool, but it wasn't for me. And, you know, when I got a bit older, I was like, I'm not religious. My family didn't hold it against me. My mum was a little bit disappointed, but she's been very disappointed in me numerous times in my life. I'm joking. So I watched this investigation, and at the end of it, I'm just left feeling really deflated because all of their equipment is going off. They do a cleansing of the house. They get rid of all the satanic stuff that's in this house, which now means that this lady and her TikTok fame for her demons attack is now done and dusted. It's gone. There were certain things in this video that struck me as very odd. For example, keep working with your priest. Yet these people are not religious, so why would a priest be able to help them, for one? Two, would a priest help somebody that is not part of the church, part of the parish? Or, I don't know, maybe they will. Maybe priests are just really good guys that will help anyone, you know? If I don't know, I did a Ouija board or went into a haunted location and something attached itself to me, I got scared, went to a priest, and I was like, can you do the thing and come to my house and do that thing? And I'm not mocking, I just know very little about it. I don't know what any of it is called. They may help me out. I don't know. But when a team that is claiming to be a legitimate paranormal investigation team that is helping people out go to a location that has been proved 100% to be full of it, and they come away with evidence, and they perform, I don't know if ritual is the right word, but ways to cleanse. All it left me thinking was, I'm glad I didn't take that phone call with these guys, because they're not going to be happy with the debunking community right now, because the debunking community are going to be all over this. I can guarantee it. I am recording this at 8 AM Saturday morning in the UK time. I was up until 2:30 AM watching this, and it stunk of disappointment. I was genuinely hoping for it. Turns out it's just bad wiring and fakery. They didn't bring into question why nothing was moving in there. This thing attacks, you know, the crucifixes. Turning a crucifix upside down is meant to be an evil deed. They are praying and they are cleansing and they splash in holy water and nothing happens. There's a couple of knocks. Their equipment goes off. And I don't know enough about their specific brands of equipment to know why it's going off. There's a Baphomet statue. There's a chair with 666 that apparently they sell, but according to the internet, that chair came back the next day. Realistically, they could have pretended to sell the chair just to appease the Foreman brothers, just to farm in views from the Foreman brothers, and then took it back because they've got to make their content for TikTok. And now they've got the seal of approval of Paranormal Nightmare. I think this, when demons attack family, have played the Foreman brothers. And I think the Foreman brothers have played into this TikTok notoriety. Like when they worked on the Oh My Gosh project. And it's disappointing for me to say, and I'm gonna get backlash for it, but it is what it is. I can only call it as I see it. And unfortunately, in that premiere last night, in the chat, a lot of their audience were questioning, why is nothing moving? Didn't this house get debunked by one of the debunkers not too long ago? How come, when you're praying, nothing is kicking off if there's a demon there? This thing is violent. This thing is throwing things around the house normally. Yet you're performing some form of exorcism ritual. And nothing happened but a couple of knocks. And people getting freaked out. And true to form, when the equipment is triggering, it's when they're on their own. It's just thrown up more questions. How could they get paranormal evidence from a fake haunting created for TikTok and YouTube views? Now, if you watch the trailer, the introduction to this Paranormal Nightmare TV series video, you'd swear you were watching a Paranormal Activity movie. Not from the Foreman brothers, but from the footage from this house. The way she stands and stares at the camera. She's far more creepy than Lee doing it. The masking and everything is so well done. Parple broke it down very well. But these guys that are apparently legitimate have gone into that house, knowing full well the debunkers are going to be looking at them, conducted an investigation and came away with evidence. And then with that, there's a few things that I needed to look at and things I want to point out to you guys. Again, no hate, no malice. It's just when you interact with debunkers, you've got to be squeaky clean. This wasn't squeaky clean. Not for me. Not at all. So, obviously, this is Josh, and he's about to claim that he hears walking. Now, even before this, there's a Melrem kicking off, but it's being moved about. Power is still on in this house. They have so much equipment. I don't know if that equipment is going to interact with a bit of equipment next to it. They've constantly got their phones on the go for apps. Now, we've already proved time and time again that your phone, even in airplane mode, you've only got to unlock the screen. It will set your K2 off. They're still using cat balls, but they use the cat ball in a right way. They put it on a planchette, on a Ouija board, to see if the planchette moves. Obviously, they'll be alerted because the cat ball will light up from the movement of the planchette. It doesn't move in this really, 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 really haunted, demonic, infested house. So I want to draw your attention to this. Josh's footsteps. Now, you're going to need headphones to hear it. It is quite quiet, but listen.
I keep hearing walking.
What he describes as walking is 3 clicks or pops. And to me, it doesn't sound like walking. It sounds like a refrigerator. My refrigerator makes the same clicking noises when the gas cools down if it's been open for a little bit, or, you know, the fridge has come into action to refrigerate. Refrigerators don't run 24/7. The temperature drops, they kick in, but then after a while the gas will settle. And to me, that's what that sounds like. So have they faked that? Do they know what that noise is? And are they claiming it to be a ghost? No. I'd like to say no, but that didn't sound like walking. 3 clicks in this house that is quite... There's a lot of ambient noise, buzzing, because there's equipment everywhere. The house still has the power on. You can't expect these guys to go into a house, cut the power, and then, you know, the family's fridge freezers and all the rest of it to just defrost. I get that, but you've got to be aware that there are just noises in-house. There are probably more noises in lived-in houses than there are in abandoned houses, just because of things powering down, powering up, standby modes, and all the rest of it. Water in pipes, gas meters, boilers, electric boxes, and these have been at this years. They should be aware of that. You know, this isn't an abandoned house falling down. They should be aware that with the power on, houses are going to make noises, as will pipes.
Are you the one that's affecting Liz?
Also, somebody needs to feed that budgie in that house. It's been chirping all night. It has been driving me nuts. It's the smoke alarm. To the family that are faking your haunting and that may have possibly tricked the Foreman brothers, who have possibly tricked you, change the battery in your smoke alarm. Having a smoke detector in your home where the battery's not working and it is chirping away to tell you that the battery is not working to keep you safe is about as useful. It's about as useful at being a safety feature for you as it is trying to store water in a sock. Safety first.
I have never seen it go from like... Hello?
That is important. They have just said the EMFs are going crazy or the equipment is going crazy and they can't work out what it is. And then they say, bzzzt, security camera moving. That will set your EMF off. Absolutely. There is a pulse of power. It will set your EMF off. Now, you rightly called out the sound, but you didn't say, uh-oh, we keep getting all these spikes. There's PTZ CCTV cameras here. And before anyone says, how do you know that? I spent a lot of time in the security industry, and 13 years of that was spent with CCTV.
Are you affecting our equipment? I mean, it's literally going from 0 and then spiking all the way up to 4 point whatever.
Because of the PTZ camera.
Later, we're going to use scripture and holy water, and we're going to force you out of this house.
Later, we are going to use scripture and holy water to force you out of this house. This is a demon, apparently. Rocking chair with 666 written on it, with a REM pod on it, a crucifix above it. These guys are religious, and this demon hasn't done shit except 3 clips and spike a K2. And those things are probably the fridge and the CCTV panning. But there is CCTV all over this house, and it's going to affect the equipment on a pan, tilt, and zoom system.
I swear I keep hearing something that's really faint.
Right there.
The hell was that?
Right there.
I swear I keep hearing something that's really...
Right, you're going to need headphones for this part as well. Sean claims that he's hearing a child's voice. They're investigating that. And they hear something. And they say, you know, what the hell is that?
really faint.
Right there.
The hell was that?
It's like a kid.
That kid was a squeak while he's walking forward. There's no discernible word or nothing. It's just the squeak of a floor. There's the budgie again. And something else to notice with the Foreman brothers. When you're watching their episode, you hear that constant hum of their cameras. That it's there constantly. That's because the microphones are pretty much maxed out. That is obviously to take in as much sound as possible. But what that also does then is makes every little tiny click, creak, bang, squeak sound a lot more pronounced than it really is. I don't know if that is done on purpose, if that's a form of trickery, or whether they genuinely believe that that is paranormal evidence. But I have not heard anything at 21 minutes and 32 seconds into this video that could be mistaken as paranormal. It is just house noises.
And this place has had like a constant EMF. Because you know how like when you walk around a place.
When you're walking around here, there is a super creepy feeling, and we keep getting high EMF. If there is naturally high occurring EMF in a house because of bad wiring, it can cause auditory hallucinations, visual disturbances, feelings of oppression, feelings of paranoia, the funhouse effect where you can go dizzy. And you should know this. Taps did all of this in the early 2000s. That high EMF may not be the sign of a ghost. It may be it is probably the sign of bad wiring, which can convince you that there's a ghost. And as investigators, as ghost hunters, you should be aware of that.
You'll get like spikes here and there, you know, from room to room. This whole freaking house has been like, it'll go to 0 and then it'll jump.
Orbs. I'm not getting into orbs. I don't believe in orbs. I know some people do. I don't. I don't think they've overlaid that. That just seems to be something swirling through the house. I mean, there's 3 people moving about in there. They're going to disturb dust. Maybe there's a bug in there. I don't know.
All the way up to like 4.4, 4.5, which is like off the charts EMF. I've got a device.
Which will convince you that there's something weird behind you. You're being watched. You're hearing things. You're seeing things.
That's possible. We can talk to you.
SP7 Spirit Box. I have zero faith in the SP7 Spirit Box, or any Spirit Box for that matter. It scans radio stations. It's got an aerial attached to it. That is a piece of a song. I couldn't tell you what song. It was somebody singing, okay. And that's evidence to these guys.
Did it?
Yeah.
What bedroom?
The far back one where I heard the kid the first time.
Yeah, it was a kid that came through there, said, okay.
Who are you?
And then they claim it's a kid. That was a woman singing, okay. I don't know what song it is, though. Okay, so we're going to try a little experiment. Nobody watch the screen. They're going to do a spirit box session. I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to say what I hear, and let's see what you guys hear. Write it down. Turn away and write it down. I'm going to say what I hear, and you compare afterwards if what I've heard is what they hear, because it probably won't be. The SB7 Spirit Box, it feeds on pareidolia and music stations breaking through the static. That's all it is. Anyway, let's go.
Who are you?
We're having money.
Where did you come from?
Where did you go? Nothing. I said nothing there. It's because I heard just blah, blah, blah. Archbishop.
Something Bishop.
Yeah.
Archbishop.
Are you from the Catholic Church?
Yeah. They didn't say that was something, did they?
That's crazy.
Did you attach yourself to Liz?
In there? Insincere? It wasn't a word.
Are you a human spirit? Where are you at inside this house right
Blah,
now?
blah, blah. I don't need...
Are you in the kids' room right now?
Dick?
If you're moving,
Did that just say dick? Right. That's enough of that. You get the point. This is why I don't rate the SB7 Spirit Box. Somebody could put up whatever words they want on the screen when the words are garbled, and that's what you're going to hear. I just wanted to do it on camera for everyone to see, because I'm not just being a dick, like the Spirit Box said. This is me just giving relevant possibilities or arguments. Because this house isn't haunted. This is a TikTok trend. These guys have gone to investigate as a legitimate haunted house. I came away with evidence.
stuff.
All by myself. Got a Ouija board in front of me with a cat ball
I do like the way Sean says Ouija board. A Ouija board. Their accents are cool as shit. I like their accents.
sitting on top of the Ouija board. I got another device that's going to read the temperature in here, and it's got the alarm on it. So if something comes up, the activity of the family, that's kind of what we're wanting to try to pick up. And children, do something. Let me know where you're. Do you believe in angels?
I've just realised they keep showing this really weird light pulse in a reflection of glass. I don't know if they're claiming that is paranormal, but we know there are PTZ cameras in this house. PTZ is pan, tilt, and zoom. And we've heard them moving. There's your light reflection. It's probably from a camera moving.
Caution.
I don't know what this device is.
What the hell was that? That sounded like it came from the bedroom.
Sit down.
No way. That sounded like it came from the bedroom.
Sit. Caution.
What the hell was that?
That was a loud bang. Unfortunately, there's 2 people missing. I'm not saying that they're in the house faking stuff, but these are questions that people are asking of these guys, and they're the questions that I'm asking of these guys. And the reason we have to ask them now is we know this house isn't haunted because it's been debunked. And that's the big thing here, is this house has been debunked. We've just spotted the demon in this house. It is a giant rubber ducky. Look, there's the eyes, there's the beak, there's the head. But the ducky's wearing a dress and a necktie or scarf for some reason. It's pareidolia, it's like a robe or something, but this is how easy it is, you know what I mean, to mistake things. They don't call that out. They don't call that out as a demon. Just Just, I'm not saying that they've said that. It was just me having a laugh. Now, this is Josh on his own in the house. I'm not going to show too much more of the footage because it annoys them. I'm not trying to annoy them, even though I'm quite annoyed that I have said that these guys seem to do a lot of good, that these guys could be legitimate, but because it's all based on religion and them helping people, I'm staying away from it. He keeps saying things like, I'm finding it hard to breathe. After this investigation, the two of the three brothers got quite ill, to the point where they couldn't attend their own live stream. Maybe they're mistaking their illness for the spirit effect in them. Maybe they still are. I don't know. But, you know, it could just be that they got ill. Still with Josh, and he hears a disembodied voice. I'll tell you exactly what that disembodied voice is, and then we'll end it there. And then you can go watch for yourself and see what you spot. I've had an email and some messages about apparently somebody moving. You can see somebody moving on the porch after an event. I can't find it.
Were you Catholic?
That is a dog barking. I distinctly hear a woof come from a dog outside, and he does. And they claim it is a disembodied voice. It is a dog barking, for the love of Thor. I got told off recently by a few viewers for using blasphemous comments, so I'm trying not to do it. There's a dog barking. That hey just sounds like something in the house moving. It is a scraping noise, not a voice. And then there's a dog's bark.
Hello?
So I'm not going to show any more. What I need to do here is just explain why I'll no longer be subscribing to this channel and why I've reached the decision I have. Whilst I outed them for their comments, I gave them an out for that argument with release the raw footage. You can prove us all wrong. That footage still hasn't appeared. They haven't offered that to me. They've only offered a phone call to me. And I held back off that phone call because I saw they were going to a house that's been debunked. They have gone into this house that has been debunked, and they are using the most mundane background noises as proof of a demon. A demon. This demon, when they are not present, has flipped crucifixes upside down, it's dragged stuff about, it's thrown stuff about, it's possessing the lady, it's attacking everything. All for TikTok. It was all disproved by Parple. Parple debunked them 100%. No questions asked. These have gone in to do an investigation, not had anything happen that happens to the family. And to offset that, they've claimed that a dog barking, a screaming noise, CCTV impacting the K2, and just general pops and cracks of fridges and floorboards, etc. to be walking and talking, and the spirit box session. Make of that what you will. I don't believe in spirit box sessions. What I do like, though, is that when they do it, they ask the question, they turn it on, they turn it back off. But they leave it on depending on how long it takes for a weird noise to come through. The lines of communication between me and Paranormal Nightmare, from my point of view, they are now closed. Because if I keep interacting with these guys positively, if I keep trying to say, well, you could do this, you could do that, this is your out, after watching all of that and having my suspicions and watching that live and seeing the carnage, after watching that premiere and seeing the scrolling chat, it was more toxic than any of the live streams I've ever done, or any of the premieres I've ever done. But I don't have 9,000 people watching me, which at one point last night they had. But I can't support it. And I don't want to argue with them. And I don't want to communicate with them, because I am very sorry to say this. I don't think Paranormal Nightmare are now any different to Omar, the twins, or any of the other fakers that I call out. They just come across as nicer people doing it. And they seem to offer help. But having watched the Side-Eye Guy's videos, where the Side-Eye Guy, you know, questions, why do all these people look like they're going through addiction and all the rest? And addiction is mentioned quite often. And it appears from the outside looking in, from a non-religious point of view, and this is my view, not everyone else's, that the demons that these guys are investigating are personal demons, not hell demons. And there's There are words that could be used to describe that. I won't go that far. Maybe their religious beliefs are what make them think that all of this is real. But I don't believe they think this is real. I think they are clutching at straws. They've gone to this house possibly because they've seen all of this stuff on TikTok and on the internet and gone, wow, how impressive. And then they've gone there, sod all has happened, so they're like, we best claim that every click, creak, noise, tilt of a camera, whatever, is paranormal because we've got nothing. And that's what I felt at the end of the investigation with these guys, that they captured nothing. And at the very end, they do a blessing on the house. They cast out the demon. It's basically an exorcism. An exorcism based on no evidence. For possessions and to have an exorcism, the church watch these things for however long. There's a lot of work goes in it. They often get denied because of mental health and all these things. These guys have been in this house for a few hours. You had a couple of creaks, bangs and groans and gone, yep, it's a demon. Let's cast it out. But captured no evidence, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe you have seen something I haven't. Maybe, you know, my not being religious is tainting my view. But nah. I think that some TikTok scammers called in this paranormal team to grow their channel. This paranormal team got nothing, called out the mundane in order to grow off this TikTok sensation. And that sucks. So yeah, I'm done with Paranormal Nightmare. I won't respond to them. There'll be no further emails. I can't support this channel. I can't say that I think these channels are doing good work. Between the Mythos video is going to be coming out where he's going to go far more into depth than I did, I believe. Between their actions towards people questioning what they captured on camera, the videos that the side-eye guy brought out on these guys, I'm done. I've got nothing pleasant to say about them as investigators. As people, they're probably very nice, but I'll have nothing more to do with them. So, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't do the toxic thing. Don't go over there giving hate. Don't come into my comment section giving hate either to me or to them. You can voice your opinion on whether you think it's real, whether you think it's fake, whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong. By all means, do it respectfully, and let's not give anyone any cause to call this community toxic, okay? Anyway, have a fantastic day, everyone. Much love to you all. Beardo out.